Now, AVGN already did review this game, but he didn't really explain much of it, and his review was really, well, lazy. And he said it's horrible, and all of Angry Video Game Nerd's mindless drones follow that opinion. But then again, so do most people in North America. However, in Japan, it's a classic. Why is that? A game that's considered horrible and crappy in America is a cult classic in Japan. Well, let's take a quick look at the history of this game. Released in 1984 on the PC-88, Hydlide was one of the first RPGs released after the Atari phase, alongside other gems like Black Onyx or Dragon Slayer. In 1985, it was ported to the MSX and the Famicom, aka the Japanese NES. 5 years later, it reached the USA on the NES. That's insane, though. It took 5 years for it to get here. Sure, it may not seem like that long, but in terms of technology, that is a while. Put that in perspective. That's like if id waited to release Doom in 1998. By then, we had games like Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Half-Life, and Unreal Tournament. As was the fate of Hydlide on the NES. By the time it was released, it was being compared to Legend of Zelda and Dragon Warrior. And Ace Salieri, you probably know Final Fantasy was just a mere year away. But that's unfortunate. Now, for a game made in 1984, it's really good. And it's also the smallest commercial game ever released on the NES, with only 40 kilobytes. 8 kilobytes smaller than any other NES game. For its time and size, Hydlide is a pretty primitive and complicated game. It's a simple RPG that keeps track of life, experience, magic, and of course your strength. The combat takes time to get used to. Pressing the A button puts you in attack mode. Now, you can do more damage to the villains, and vice versa, meaning that villains can do more damage to you. Releasing A will put you in defense mode, which protects you from some attacks. Now, let me explain. Hydlide is different from most role-playing games in a variety of ways. The most obvious is how you heal. Instead of gulping down a potion or going into a strange lady's house like in Zelda 2, you heal by just sitting there. Yeah, all you do is just stand there. So you can go get a bag of chips or, Ace Salieri's favorite, a box of nutty bars, and wait for yourself to heal. But it only works if you're standing on a forest or a field tile. If you stand in the middle of water and you're sleeping with the fishes instead of the princess. If you stand in the graveyard, your life will be drained by corpses. Now, onto the plot. The goal is kinda cliche, just saving a princess from a dragon. The game starts with the dragon shooting fire at the princess and turning her into 3 fairies. First thing you must do, you must first collect the fairies, who then whisk you off to a deserted island. Now the difficulty is pretty high. You can save in-game, like in Zelda, but it's only temporary, so when you turn off your Nintendo to play ball outside with your friends, who am I kidding? When you turn off your Nintendo to play another game console, your save gets erased. Luckily, there is a passcode system, but when you restart the game and you put in the code, you lose all your experience points, which sucks. Now, in this game, the difficulty is legendary. An enemy can kill you while you're at any level. Guess that enemy must have been on Buzz, Hyperactive, Weight Loss. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson. Buzz Cola is a Kmart brand soda. Warning, may cause extreme hyperactivity. Consult a doctor before usage. Look, I didn't know commercials could just interfere with game reviews. Huh. Let's hope nothing like that happens again. Anyway, as I was saying, the enemies can kill you instantly, or you can instantly kill them. Because of this game's random damage calculator, even when you're at the highest level, you can still be killed by 4 hits from a slime. Now leveling up is hard. Lower levels, the only enemies you can kill effectively are the kobolds, which give no experience points, and slimes, which can kill you in 1 hit. Now, like all RPGs where you level up, you start on level 1. Now, that's painstakingly obvious, but still, you can't do much until you reach level 3. So you kill enemies to gain experience, like any RPG. Now, believe it or not, this is the first game that showed gamers the hell known as RPG leveling up. Yeah, that's true. Now, there aren't that many items in this game, but they are all successful. They are all essential to your success. First of all is the sword, which will add 10 points to your strength. The final boss is inaccessible without it. The shield adds 10 points to your defense. The cross lets you kill the vampire. The pot will reveal the dungeon pits on the map. Without it, you can't advance. Medicine will bring you back to life only 1 time. The key lets you access some treasure chests, which contain 1 of 3 jewels: a jewel, a ring, and a ruby. The final boss will not reveal himself unless you have these 3 items. If you don't have these 3 items, you're screwed. The monsters aren't that complicated. The only way they vary is how hard they hit and how much damage they can take. There are a few exceptions, like the vampire, the water dragon, the wizard, and Borealis, the final boss. The vampire and the water dragon are special conditions that must be met. I'm not telling you what those conditions are. You gotta figure out on your own. If I just told you everything about the game, then that just ruin it for you. Ruin some of the sense of accomplishment. Anyway, the wizards, they shoot fireballs, which will kill you in 2 hits. Now they don't have any clear patterns, so I can't help you much here. Now the difficulty doesn't actually come from the combat. Not finding items, trying to find out where to use them and all that. It's kind of easy until you get to the final boss. He'll kill you in about, I don't know, an average of about 20,000 times. Now, the game's quality depends on how you go in. If you go in with an open mind, or just looking for a simple little game, like you're just thinking, huh, Hydlide, never played this one before, let's play it, then it'll be a good game. If you're going in thinking, oh great, I'm just playing some cheap Zelda cash-in, this game is so boring. Now, for a game of this size, it is very entertaining. But that's just my opinion. Now, my personal favorite item is the medicine. It gives you an extra life pretty much. It's like a 1-up. After you die, it refills your health completely, giving you a second chance. Which is, yeah, much more that can be said for other RPGs. I like it. I like this neat little feature. Now, on the unlikely chance there is a sequel, I would want experience to gain faster. That's just my one critique for this game. Now, stay tuned, as I am going to rank the game.
You're sweet, but you just fall